Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the greatest show on earth.
Under the bright lights of Las Vegas, in front of a stunned audience, one of the most shocking moments in entertainment history unfolded. Roy Horn, half of the legendary duo Siegfried and Roy, was mauled by the very creature he loved most, his white tiger, Mantecore. This wasn't just a performance gone wrong. It was a moment that ended one of the most iconic shows in the world and changed Roy Horn's life forever. Roy Horn was more than a magician. Born in Germany in 1944, he grew up fascinated by animals. From a young age, Roy wasn't just interested in performing tricks. He believed in creating a bond, a deep connection with exotic animals. When he met Siegfried Fischbacher, the two quickly became partners, not just in magic, but in life. Their performances were unlike anything the world had ever seen, combining illusion, big stage magic, and living, breathing predators. Lions, leopards, and most famously, white tigers. To Roy, these animals weren't props. They were family. He raised them, lived with them, and believed his bond with them was unbreakable. By the 1990s, Siegfried and Roy were the kings of Las Vegas. Their show at the Mirage Hotel was one of the most successful in history, running for more than 13 years. Audiences would watch in awe as Roy led massive tigers across the stage, whispering commands, moving with grace and fearlessness. To many, it looked like pure magic. How could a man stand so calmly beside such powerful predators? But what no one knew was that on October 3rd, 2003, the magic was about to shatter. It was Roy's 59th birthday performance. The show was packed, the energy electric. On stage with him was Mantecore, a 7-year-old, 380-pound white tiger that Roy had raised from a cub. But then, something went horribly wrong. Mid-performance, Roy appeared to stumble. In a flash, Mantecore lunged, clamping his jaws around Roy's neck. Gasps echoed through the theater as the massive tiger dragged him across the stage. The audience thought it might be part of the act. But the horror became clear as Roy's body went limp, blood staining his shirt. The show stopped instantly. Security and trainers rushed in. What had been a dazzling performance turned into a fight for survival. Roy was rushed to the hospital in critical condition. He had massive blood loss, a crushed windpipe, and had suffered a stroke. Doctors worked tirelessly to save him. At one point, his heart even stopped. But against all odds, Roy survived. His recovery was long and grueling. He was partially paralyzed, his speech affected, and he could never perform again. Yet through it all, Roy refused to blame Mantecore. In his eyes, the tiger wasn't trying to kill him. He was trying to protect him after he had collapsed. Whether or not that's true remains debated, but Roy's love for his animals never faded. If you're finding this story powerful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more real-life stories that will leave you speechless. Your support helps keep this channel growing and allows us to bring you even more incredible content. Though he could no longer perform, Roy continued to live surrounded by his animals and by Siegfried, his lifelong partner. For years, the two remained symbols of resilience and the unbreakable bond between humans and animals. But tragedy would strike again years later, this time not from a tiger. In 2020, the world was gripped by the COVID-19 pandemic. Sadly, Roy Horn contracted the virus. Already weakened from years of health struggles, his body couldn't fight it. On May 8, 2020, Roy Horn passed away at the age of 75. The world mourned not just a magician, but a man whose life was dedicated to wonder, performance, and his beloved animals. Roy Horn's story is both inspiring and heartbreaking. It reminds us of the beauty and danger of working so closely with wild creatures. He lived his life in the spotlight, surrounded by the animals he loved most, and even in his final days, he never blamed them for the accident that changed everything. His legacy lives on, not just in Las Vegas, but in the hearts of those who still remember the magic of Siegfried and Roy. But beyond the stage lights, the blood, and the headlines, there's a deeper truth hidden in Roy Horn's story. It's not just about a tiger attack. It's about us, about humanity, trust, and the fragile line between love and danger. What happened that night forces us to ask, when trust is broken, do we blame or do we understand? Roy Horn's tragedy is more than just a story about a tiger and a man. It reflects the fragile balance of trust in our own lives. Just as Roy trusted Mantecore, we too build relationships where trust is both beautiful and dangerous. Sometimes the very ones we rely on for help may unintentionally cause harm, not out of malice, but out of instinct or circumstance. His story teaches us that blaming one another is not always the answer. Instead, it reminds us of the complexity of love, loyalty, and risk. Humanity grows not by avoiding trust, but by understanding its weight, respecting its limits, and learning that even in pain, there can be forgiveness. What's truly unbelievable is that after surviving such a brutal attack, Roy never blamed his tiger. Instead, he insisted that Mantecore wasn't trying to kill him at all, but trying to save him. That kind of forgiveness, that kind of love, is something few of us can even imagine. It shows what it really means to give your heart so completely, even to a creature with the power to take your life away. If this story moved you, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more real stories that deserve to be remembered. I want to hear from you. Do you believe Mantecore was protecting Roy, or was it truly an attack? Share your answer in the comments, and don't forget to tell us the country you're watching from. Until next time, thank you for watching.